Town Band Banter with Doc and Dave. Every week, two longtime friends and colleagues in the world of music, David Price and Donald Doc Smith, get together to discuss the triumphs as well as the twists and turns of lifelong learning for the dedicated members of thousands of civilian community music ensembles of every shape and size. Your comments and suggestions are always welcomed through email as info@townbandbanter.com, Facebook, Town Band Banter, and Instagram, #TownBandBanter. And now for our hosts, Doc and Dave.
Okay, Dave, you ready?
I think we're ready.
All right, good. Hopefully they're ready too.
Yeah.
We're at Mark Bedrossian Shops, Season 3, Episode 6. Oh, yeah, moving up there. And we're going to interview an old friend, Mark, not that old, but old friend,
he's
Mark
pretty old
Bedrossian.
now. Yeah, he's old. I'm old.
But then bringing down the average age, you're going to have to introduce all I know is
good for
Anna. I don't
90.
know, do you have a last name or you're like Madonna, you just have one name, that's all we
Anna
need?
Masusock. It's kind of a hard last name.
Masusock,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, that's cool. It's certainly harder than Smith.
Masusock or Bedrossian?
Or Bedrossian is not only two S's.
Yeah, it's Polish.
It's actually Irish.
Is it
Oh
really?
my
Yeah.
goodness,
Oh my
there you
gosh.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. All right, and the reason I've been dying to talk to you, of course, I want to cover all the music shops in the area.
Good.
And our whole podcast is about community bands and everything else.
Sure.
You were just going over some of your early, how you got into this, which is a pretty typical path for people that own shops now that started in repair, right? To get into a
Yes and
business.
no.
Yeah,
Yes
okay.
and no. Probably if we backtrack from when I was in high school.
Okay.
I was like an average, if not a poor student.
Okay.
And I was one of those kids that probably had ADHD and they didn't even realize I had it, but I did. Okay.
No, but I think we all had that.
Knowing us all, I think we
Yeah,
get into
a
that
2x4
category.
over my head straightened me out.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
But anyways, make a long story short, when I had graduated in '76 at Pilgrim High School, they didn't even know what musical instrument repair were at the guidance council.
Oh my gosh.
And basically, how I got into it was my dad had worked at Quonset Point. And back in '72, I think it was, they wanted to rehabilitate all the people that they had laid off at Quonset Point, like over 5,000 people.
Right. Yeah.
So my father, just for kicks, said, instrument repair. All right. So now all of a sudden, I'm saying to myself, I don't want to be a teacher. That's boring.
Yeah.
I'm not good enough to be a great musician. That's even worse.
Yeah.
So my dad has said to me, why don't you go into instrument repair? All right. How long is it, Dad? Oh, it's only 6 weeks. I can handle 6 weeks.
That sounds good, yeah, right?
But
But
it
you're already
wasn't-
good at breaking instruments,
Yeah,
so, you know,
absolutely.
like.
But guess what? It wasn't 6 weeks.
Oh,
It was 4 years.
Oh,
After I signed the paper, they were gonna give my dad a cut-down version of the repairs, right?
Yeah.
And just give him the basics. But now, he told me, and I think I got set up, okay? When I signed the papers to go to school over there, I'm saying, oh my God, how am I gonna do this? But I stuck it out. I really stuck
was
it
it
out.
like 6 weeks on good behavior, and then they kept it?
I don't know. I really don't know. So I stuck it out, got an associate's degree in education in New Jersey, big deal, right? Made who's who for repairs throughout the country, big deal, you know?
Yeah.
And basically, I'm here where I am now after, I was just counting this too, 48 years of doing this.
Wow,
Yeah.
there you go. Now, I've known a couple other repairmen, you know, like Don Randall Music, I worked at a mom and two stores
Yep.
in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and he said that was it, repair. He said you can make as much money as you want, depending on how many hours you want to put in, but everything's, enough stuff is going to be consistently broken.
The sad thing about it is the children, the young adults nowadays
Yeah,
don't want to put their dues in, okay?
Right.
There's no fire in their belly to learn, okay? Except for this young lady right next to me.
Okay.
And I don't know how I stumbled across her, but I think I intimidated her into working here,
Yeah.
okay?
I find that, you know, with young people, if you beat them enough, they will come
No, no, no.
around.
Well-
They just do. No,
Well,
I'm just
you
saying.
know, you're
cut
right,
apart.
you're right, okay? But bottom line is, even if you pay them more, they don't want to hear it, they'd rather sleep.
Yeah.
Okay, and I don't mean to generalize all people like that, but the people I've come across, I don't know why, but that's the way they are. But this young lady is really the exception to the rule, really is.
I'll set up something, your niche in the music world here in Rhode Island, which doesn't sound big, but it is. And you're
Yes.
part of Massachusetts and everything else, you actually stretch out much further than that. but it's not as much school as some of the other businesses. Maybe you
Yeah.
can even help explain that too. What percentage is school, what percentage are professionals, and what are the community band people who are not even professionals? How are you impacting that? Because that's pretty much what we're after, even though it mixes, because a lot of my people do play professionally in the Jamestown band. I don't know about Westerly, probably less percentage, lower percentage
You're right.
play out professionally,
Yeah.
but then some other bands are almost all professionals. So, and they're still considered community bands because they're not getting paid to do that. I met you by playing professionally in those
Many
bands.
moons ago.
Yeah. Well, can you break that, are there percentages for that?
Not really percentages. At one point, I had 3 retired school teachers hit roughly 15 schools a day. And
Right.
I was servicing 135 schools. But
And that's the rental program, basically, right?
Not rental.
Oh, no? Okay.
It was strictly hardcore repairs.
Oh, wow, okay.
Hardcore repairs. And I was making great money. But the problem is dealing with municipalities and schools over here.
Getting
You
paid.
wait 120 days for your money.
Right.
So you as a music
Plus
teacher.
interest, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, right, no.
Never happened, never happened. And you could vouch for this, because I've done it for you many
Yeah.
times. Him as a teacher needs something repaired immediately,
Yeah.
or at night.
Or
okay?
replaced
Or
immediately.
replaced immediately.
Yeah.
So what am I gonna do, shake him down for money? No. Okay, we sign a PO. Now he puts it through the administration. Now all of a sudden, administration says, oh, the mayor has to sign it. And it's a huge process. And at one point, being a small businessman, and this is probably 20 years ago,
Yeah.
I had over $100,000 out, and I didn't want to do it.
Wow.
Now they come to me. But in regards to service in the community,
Yeah.
one of the things here that we try to do at Bedrossian Music, and Anna will vouch for this, is not about money. It really isn't.
Yeah.
To make the customer happy,
Right.
all right? And what we do is, besides guaranteeing our work, so if you had something repaired by me today,
Yeah.
I'll put 1 year free service on it. Anything goes wrong, it's covered.
Right.
I don't charge you,
Right.
even if it's beyond the year. Now, the next thing I do is I buy out music stores throughout the country.
Now, that I'm fascinated with, and then internet sales and stuff like that, that's kind of
Uh,
cool.
I-
I don't know that that helps the community, but it
It
describes
does.
the business.
It does, because the community here, we base it on Facebook or walk-in customers,
Right,
okay?
okay.
So the bottom line is that when we purchase something,
Yeah.
I have to purchase it so low, but it has to be quality stuff.
Right.
Or I won't buy it.
Right,
Situation. So now you're looking for a guitar.
right.
You're gonna go on Facebook, you're gonna go on Amazon, you're gonna go on AliExpress, which is a Chinese version of Amazon,
Uh-huh.
and look for a price.
Right.
And I don't blame you. Everyone in Rhode Island's trying to save a buck, and I realize that,
Right.
okay? So now Mark has to price it out, at Bedrossian Music and Anna, I have to price it out lower to get Don Smith to come in the door, but how do I get Don Smith to open up his wallet? But it's not about the money end of it. It's about satisfying the customer and giving them something that they can't afford, so their children are able to experience
Well,
the
plus the
music
repeat
situation.
customers is what you're after. I mean, that's,
Yes
people
and
just
no.
keep coming
Yes and
back.
no.
Oh, no.
You're
Not on the
not-
internet,
Yeah.
it's just bang, you get
Not-
them, get them the
It's
product
like a
right
family
away.
business.
Exactly.
People can feel that. They can feel the support here.
Right.
When we have so many young kids that come in and their eyes just light up when they see the shop and they see
Yeah.
everything. And that's what makes this job fulfilling all of us.
Uh-huh.
Seeing the joy of the younger generation.
And that's the thing. They don't want to see an old man like me walking around, hobbling around, which I don't, and teaching a kid. But the point being is, we bring in young people that have that pretty girl look, but yet is very intelligent in the
No,
music
you need
world.
someone who's really good in the internet, that's what we all need.
Which
That's
she's
what you-
very
I'm
good.
sure that's what you brought,
we
more than
really
anything.
we try and bring that side to it as well, the marketing more so on the internet side of it now.
Well, I'm gonna give you one scenario, and I'm not gonna name names. A local music store in Rhode Island said to a 10-year-old young man, okay, he wanted to play trombone. This is a true story, okay? And you were there. The poor kid left the store crying because the teacher at that music store said, you don't have the muscles in your lips to play trombone. What world is that coming from?
Well, there
So-
was research done, you know about this research
Oh,
with
cut the
trombone.
research.
No, it was, it's called osculation, kissing,
Oh,
right?
God.
And someone studied who were the best instrumentalists, what the facial structure was best for kissing, and it turned out to be trombone.
Yeah, I guess
Of course,
the
you'd have
drummers
to,
out.
yeah,
exactly.
you would have to want to kiss a trombone player, which is better than.
Yeah.
So
Who
now all
would
of a
do
sudden,
that?
now all of a sudden, if anyone knows any kind of musical history,
Yeah.
what happened to Trombone Shorty? Trombone Shorty was like 6 years old and played his butt off,
Yeah,
okay?
right.
Now look at him, traveling the world. So this young man came in here, you were here, and he was crying,
Yeah.
okay? That he had left the music store, and now we hook him up with our teacher, Bodie Forst.
Okay.
Bodie has a PhD in music,
Mm-hmm.
okay? Bodie's probably one of the leading trombone players in Rhode Island, if not New England.
Right.
And he teaches young men. He is so happy.
Yeah.
I'll give you another
Do
scenario.
you do rental horn for him at first and then
No.
move him up, or
No,
what kind of horn was it?
if he wants a rental horn, I'll
Yeah.
help him.
No, sure.
But it's not about making money. It's about satisfying the
But
musical
what did
needs.
you start on? What kind of horn did you
Trombone.
start on? Yeah, but just a pea shooter.
Well,
like-
he had, I think he had a generic, he had a Bach,
Yeah.
a Bach or whatever.
I got kids fascinated about I started more trombone players using the plastic trombone, believe it or not.
Absolutely.
Because you go into class and they see an old rusty slide trombone and think, I'm not gonna do that. But they see this plastic thing, they go, whoa! And then I make them play the Vavazula first, the stadium horn, because it's exactly the same embouchure.
Sure.
Yeah.
So and there's no YouTube video on how to play stadium horn. Everyone knows, so everyone knows how to do brass tone production.
And you're trying to
Have
earn
do
their
that.
interest and achieve
Right.
something, so this way in the future, they'll have something to look forward
Sure.
to, okay? We have a phenomenal music teacher here, piano teacher, Bill Moretti.
Yeah.
And Bill has been, probably Bill's in the late 60s.
Yeah.
He taught a young man, and he'll tell you, and he has the videos of it, that had 2 fingers on one hand. 2 fingers, and the kid is phenomenal.
Wow.
And it's not about the money. It really isn't. The bottom line is that how do we help this poor kid that has this situation
Yep.
and bring him to our level as musicians? And the one thing about Anna here, because she's young, she's able to relate to the young children that are 5 years old. What's the youngest student you have?
Right now I have 5.
No, but how the age?
Actually, no, I do have a 4-year-old right now.
4-year-old.
Yeah,
Yeah, early, oh, that's cool.
So the thing is, both of you guys are teachers, we're teachers, okay? How do you keep that attention of that 4 or 5-year-old?
Can't.
And
That's
because they don't wanna see us 3,
Games.
they don't wanna,
Everything into a game.
it's
Yeah,
all about
right.
visual,
Yeah.
and it's all about piano, instant gratification.
Right.
And this is what Anna does fantastically,
Uh-huh.
okay? So the people at our store here, I pick and choose the teachers that will develop these young people into old timers like us 3 here. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And having fun in our money.
Well, it has to be eventually, Mark. But
Okay.
you
Not
managed
really.
to make it all the way through, and you were making a lot of money on back to the
Yeah.
internet. You know, like turning things around, buy a store, buy all the stuff from a store.
Yep.
Finding places to store it, which was amazing for me. You truckload, and all of a sudden the
We
shop's
had,
full
I
already.
had bought out the old Rayburn Music next to Symphony
In
Hall.
Boston.
Okay, and one of the things they had, it took 4 guys 2.5 hours to unload it in my basement. And one of the things that I had picked up was 800 tambourines. 800 tambourines.
Oh,
We
goodness
couldn't sell them, okay? It's like those half-round tambourines up there.
Yeah, right.
Really
Yeah.
nice,
Yeah.
okay? Probably $29 a piece.
Yeah.
So now all of a sudden, after calling my wholesaler, he says, Mark, what am I gonna do with them? So I decided to put a crack and peel label on there saying, give us a good review of the Bedrossian music, and I handed it out to everyone.
Oh, okay.
And they thought I was giving away gold. And it's not about that. It's about generating new people to come and let us help you to bring us to whatever level we're at. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about. And again, it's community service, it's what we could do for the community, and how do we do it without them dishing out a lot of money, or any money at all.
Well, I remember and sometimes there's playing for you for very little money.
Yep.
Because you would take, to keep live music going,
Yep.
to keep live music going.
Good to see you, Bill.
Good to see you. Sorry I
You're
interrupted.
a student.
I was bragging
What time?
about you. Wait, how old was that, how many fingers that kid have?
2.
2.
Yeah.
How old is he now? Or how was he? She. How old
Oh,
was she?
she's graduated
changes.
Syracuse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
graduated Syracuse.
And how old was she when you taught her? 12.
Yeah.
She graduated Syracuse
Wow.
University.
Yeah. She had-
Mountains with club. Have you ever been on a campus? Oh my gosh.
Syracuse?
Oh, it's on
My daughter went
a
there.
mountain. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy, crazy expensive too.
All right, good to see you again, Bill.
All right, good to see you.
Thanks,
Say,
Bill.
say bye before you leave. Sorry to interrupt you.
I
No,
know
that's
you a new
okay.
shelf back there.
What instrument do you teach?
I teach mostly piano. I teach a little bit of guitar and vocal
And
as well.
vocals.
Yeah.
Very good. She's very good.
That's cool. So I didn't know you had that background. That's good. You picked that up as a young kid yourself?
Yeah, my family's very musical, and my brother plays pretty much every instrument under the sun.
Oh,
Let
okay.
me tell you something about Anna, okay?
Yeah.
She is so responsible, but every day, how long you been working here now? A couple of years or so? Every day I find out something new about what and who she is, okay? I didn't know that. So your brother,
Yeah.
whatever, she's a talented kid,
Yeah.
okay? And believe it or not, the reason why she came in here is to have a repair done.
Oh.
But she's actually going to Johnson or Wales
Right, I know that.
as a
Yeah.
pastry chef.
Right.
But she doesn't bring me no pastry.
Well, none of us need pastry.
No, I
at
know,
this
I-
point.
this is
We all
different.
like pastry, but none of us need pastry.
The other thing here at Bedrossian Music that we do is we do a lot of repairs, most naturally.
Yeah.
And one of the repair people that we have is Dean Plowman. Dean Plowman is a phenomenal
From
electronic.
Axelrod, right?
No, not
Where's
at
he from? Where do I know that name from? I do know
Dean's a
that name.
guitar teacher here, but Dean's claim to fame was that 28 years in the Air Force in electronics.
Right.
He was the #1 electronics teacher and professor at New England Tech and also at Bryant College, and now he's helping me with repairs. because
Maybe
he
that's
enjoys
one
working
of
here.
those connections,
The
yeah.
other person that I'm very fortunate to have is Dean Cohen. Dean Cohen had 28 years at Sam Ash in Ohio and decided to move back to Warwick, where his wife is from. And he's a legitimate luthier, a legitimate,
Oh, cool.
not a garage type I learned last week type of person. No, a legitimate
YouTube video.
Yeah.
No, none of that stuff. None of that stuff.
Yeah.
So we got some really qualified
Well, what
people.
does, as a luthier, he repairs all string instruments?
All
I mean, there's
string
specialties,
instruments.
you know, like the
All
bass.
string. No.
Bass can be something a little bit different, but he goes at all.
For 28 years at Sam Ash in Ohio, he
Yeah.
must have been doing something right. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
right.
You know, so he decided to come back to Warwick. And then you got Broken Down Me.
That's it. Driving all over the place, crazy all the time.
One of the things that Doc and I talk a lot about in our podcast is simply the community involvement with the civic bands, town bands, things of that sort, and how important it is really to keep people involved as much as possible. And so I'll set up a scenario for
Go ahead.
you. Guy played in high school.
Yep.
I played in high school. I played second trumpet. I was pretty good, you know what I
Yep.
mean? But I put it away 25 years. I haven't touched it. It's still in the back of the closet. What do you say to him if he comes in and says, I was thinking of starting up again?
I'll give you one extra scenario that it
Okay.
was, okay?
And he found his old teacher in there, in the closet. No.
Yeah, really. Gentleman came in. It was his grandfather's saxophone from 1920. It's in the back room.
Oh, I love it.
He wants me to overhaul it, just out of memorabilia. And I said, you know, sir, I'll make it perfect. Don't worry about that. That's the issue. Do you want to put this kind of money into it? Do you play? He said, well, I wanted to put it in a glass case and make it pristine. And that's it. I had a lady come in yesterday, and never in 48 years have I ever had to order a marching baton, like old school
Mace,
60s.
a mace.
So the point is that here at Bedrossian Music,
Well, you hook them up with the teacher and make sure the horn's working right.
Oh.
Those are the really critical things.
I mean, I'll give another example. You, how many people have I steered your way for the Jamestown Community Orchestra?
And likewise for repairs.
Yeah.
You know, me, you know, so
Yeah.
it's a symbiotic relationship.
It
There's no
really
doubt
is,
about it, yeah.
because you get a lot of people our age, like David said, and they want to get back into playing, but they don't know where to go.
It's just how to get started in it.
Yes.
You know, because they've had it in the back of their head
Yep.
for a long time. And then
Long
finally
time.
they're at that spot where, okay, I could maybe fit that in somehow.
Yeah.
And then how do you make that next step? And then, of course, with brass instruments,
Yeah.
See,
Well, yours,
How do you get
he's
that lip to
recently
work?
become a French horn player,
Yeah.
so.
really.
a percussionist.
He's afflicted with
trying-
French horn.
Yeah, like-
No, he's doing a lot better. You're doing a lot better.
yeah, that's
All of a
very
sudden-
generous of you,
Yeah,
Doc.
see,
Again,
You
I'm-
would have tried.
I'm dating myself over here. There was a TV series called The Paper Chase.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
John Houseman,
Yep.
the head professor, viola gentleman, started his acting career at 83.
Did he really?
I really did, 83.
Yeah.
So the sky is the limit, as long as you got the fire in your belly. If you don't, okay, no big deal, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna push it. But you got those kids, like the child that came in here that the other music store said, you don't have the muscles in
Yeah,
your
right.
lips to play trombone.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah. Well, the more luck I've had with him, our kids switching instruments.
Yeah.
Probably 3 tubas, right, over the years with kids switching. There was always going to be the third trumpet player.
Yep.
You know, in the bottom of the section,
Yeah.
and he'd try him out on tuba, and it turns out he's going to be a star on that. He ends up in all state on
Yeah.
that, or baritone or something like that. And Mark has always been really good at finding an affordable tuba. And tuba is one of those you don't have to buy; the school provides it. But in some cases, like this last kid, they didn't have one.
Yeah.
So you help find one for about the same price as a trumpet.
Yep, exactly.
Right.
Which, as you know, tuba's on the low end.
Yeah.
If
right.
you're able to find something under $1,500,
Yeah.
up to $20,000.
Right.
You know, and those are legitimate prices. It's not me
Yeah.
making up these stories.
But you had bought out a store and you happen to have one. Put the feelers out. See if
Exactly.
you can find one. That's what you'd be good about. The other one was clearing out closets. You remember when you left South Kingstown, I took over a director after that. But there's still like a closet with all these instruments.
Yep.
The trombone that is a sticky slide. Throw it in there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
it was just-
there was a closet from floor to ceiling,
Yeah.
all these old instruments, which he came in and just went through all of them and said, well, savable, not savable,
Yeah.
and the not savables go to an interior designer.
Yeah.
They crush it and becomes a beautiful wall ornament.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You did that when you were in Pawtucket, too.
Absolutely, all the places, because otherwise the instruments just lay there. I was lucky in Pawtucket. Pawtucket was, there, I found 111 working instruments.
Good.
I was told that there were no instruments and the schedule was terrible, and that's why there wasn't a band there.
Well,
And I found them all throughout the whole school. A grant would fall and he'd throw it into the closet. And I was afraid every time I opened up a case that there was gonna be a destroyed instrument,
Yeah.
which tears me up.
Mm.
And almost every one of them worked fine, because they'd just never been used.
Yeah.
well, one of the other things, too, is that Pilgrim High School is having a new school.
Yeah.
Tollgate High School is building a new school.
Right.
But I just found out, when you guys were teachers, every square foot was allocated X amount of money from the federal government to give you either lockers or new instruments. Those days are over.
Yeah.
You don't get nothing anymore when it's a new school.
Good
luck
negotiated. I was part of Durfee,
Yeah.
which was a huge, that was
Fall
a
River,
big,
yeah.
expensive school, and they did get a lot of this, the equipment, the things that are built in, but they got some more, the other things. The old days of the guy calling you up from the office, you always had a list. I don't know if this happened with you. Always had a list of things that you dream of having.
Yep.
The second part,
Yep.
the bass marimba,
Yep.
or something like that. He goes, Smitty, I have $30,000. I have to spend it today. What do you got?
Yep.
And I have the list
No
right
way.
there, and that's how you get the bass marimba and the harp and stuff
It's
like
not there
that.
anymore,
Yeah.
non-existent.
Well,
But
So-
I think that's how we keep the shop magical. Is we kind of stick to the old school ways of
Yeah, uh-huh.
how we care about people, how we do things. You hear his typewriter in there.
Yeah,
Right.
she laughs
Oh,
at me.
really?
She
He
laughs
uses
at me.
You have a non-electric typewriter?
No,
or
it
it's
is electric. It is
Okay.
electric. I'm not that archaic yet.
No, because you
Yeah.
can do the Leroy Anderson.
Oh,
That's,
No,
you
you
know that
so
song?
you have to put
The
kerosene
typewriter?
in it.
Yeah,
Leroy Anderson.
But ask Anna, what is the first thing that I ask you when I walk in?
Who's mad at me?
Yep.
Really?
I say that. It's all about taking care of the customer.
Right, yeah.
It really is. I don't want to hear accolades, compliments, any of the above.
Yeah.
Okay? I want to hear what I did wrong, how can I correct it, and how can I help that customer. And that's what it's all about. It is, again, not about money.
For 48 years.
I know, huh? Depressing. I was just looking at this book when I signed it out back
Yeah.
in 1977.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
A repair book.
Yeah.
So it's the last.
Encyclopedia of Band Instrument Repair by Frederick Kirshner. And the only other copies in the Smithsonian.
See, I studied arrangement with Larry Kirshner. I wonder if they're related. It's not that common a name. Could
Well,
be.
it was
It
in New
could be a
Jersey.
musical
The
family.
father had the largest music store in Newark, New Jersey.
That
Okay?
wouldn't have been hard to imagine that he came from that.
But here's another thing that I'm trying, and she's developing quite well, trying to show the people that are working over here. It's about hands-on training. And I'm gonna give you a little background, and I apologize if I bore you, okay? When I had gone to
We
school.
can always edit it out.
That's all right. No matter what.
When I had gone to school, okay?
Yeah.
The school, there was a store,
Yeah.
half the size of Target, okay?
Okay,
And they did 35,000 rentals, okay?
right.
They developed the school probably 25 years earlier from when I went to school.
Uh-huh.
And guess, it was all hands-on training. Guess who did all those repairs? Us.
Yeah.
And we had to pay for tuition for it.
Right.
So what would happen is, they would give me a trumpet, smash it against a concrete wall, show us how to fix it, okay?
Right.
So, once they showed us, but they didn't complete it, we had to learn little by little by little. So now, after about a month and a half of repairing it and making it factory perfect, they smash the exact same trumpet against the wall, fix it faster.
Wow.
There was another one. Every other year they ran an instrument repair thing at the fine institution I went to college, which will remain nameless. You'll have to look it up. But every other year, and the final exam was they give you a box of clarinet parts.
Yep.
Right? And say, okay, the final exam tomorrow, bring in working clarinet, right?
Really?
And they'd bring it to a guy like you. Give him $100,
Yeah,
right?
fix it right away.
Go to a bar
Yep.
and
Yeah.
come walk in the next day and get an A.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the teacher would be thinking, I'm such a good teacher.
Yeah, yeah. No, we were put through the paces.
Yeah,
It
I'm
really
sure.
was. And when I tell you there were only 60 students, they were throughout the whole world. And I mean, one of my best friends is Patrice Drouel from Calais, France,
Uh-huh.
okay? And I could bore you all day long, Delaware, Colorado,
Yeah.
Springfield, Mass. But bottom line is that it seems like that I'm a dinosaur. And I'll eventually be a dinosaur too, but I'm trying to teach you the old school way.
You know, I'm getting the sense that the trades are coming back.
Yeah.
There is a trend.
Yeah, a lot of
kids
Not
are
in this.
realizing that,
You got
man,
it. Yeah.
you know, like I could take out $300,000 in loans and become a doctor and fight for my money for the rest of my life,
Yeah.
or I can make $300,000 being an electrician.
Yep.
If
Or
I
a
wanted-
repairman.
And I only have to do it for half a year, and I'm fully trained, and then have to go through the internship, you know, or apprenticeship, I'm sorry, you know, and do that, and kids are starting to get that. The electric boat is helping with that.
Correct.
Because they will right now take a student and pay them $30 an hour to sit in class
Yeah.
after paying for all their books and
Yeah.
fees,
Yeah.
right? To go to college to teach them what they're gonna do for that company. And then start at like 70 or 80 grand.
Yeah.
You know, like what other fields can guarantee that? The problem is they can't get kids through it because they have to go through a drug test and a social media test. And stuff that they did in middle school comes up, and it's
Right.
like she's having a hard time getting kids through. The ones who want to do it, it's a small number getting through that program, but it's a fantastic program. But the trades are becoming a little bit more popular. SK just added a house building. One of my neighbors is the house building teacher there.
Really?
And he teaches the kids how to do construction, all kinds of construction, which is fantastic. I don't know what happened with the auto shop. That guy retired. I'm not sure they replaced him or not, but they have the auto shop there still. So someone's probably doing something. I'm not sure what it is. But I have a feeling the trades might be back. It'll be interesting to see what's happening with instrument repair.
Not only that, too,
Schools are still
electronics.
open, right? What was it?
Red Wing?
Red Wing, and
But
those are the ones I
they're
know.
13-week courses. Let me tell
Yeah.
you something. I've been doing it 49 years.
Yeah.
I'm still learning.
Oh, no,
Okay?
absolutely. Yeah.
You know, and that's the thing. I could tell you a situation about seating pads, okay, on saxophones and clarinets. Emilio Lyons, one of the best repairmen in the world,
Right.
okay? I had showed him something old school way, and he's using it,
Yeah,
okay?
right, yeah, sure.
The bottom line is sometimes you could use the term old school, but is it really old?
Well, if it always worked,
It works.
It works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
You
Yeah.
know? And there's a lot of things that you just have to use your mind
Yeah.
on how to recreate it. So you as a band director are doing a parade. The kid's saxophone pad falls out. He finds it. You have no adhesive to put it. Thank you.
Yeah, but
Thank
I
you.
told all the kids not to chew gum,
Yeah,
and now
now
you're
we're
like,
gonna do
oh man, it comes
Yeah,
back
yeah.
to bite you.
Yeah, and to solidify what I'm saying over here is that it happened to me many moons ago, and I forgot to take the gum out of the clarinet pad.
Oh, no.
And it was like hard as a rock.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Really,
Yeah, right.
it really was, but it works. Simple things are just.
I found all kinds of ways around that, you know, like.
Simple fixes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Find new ways to fix things.
Yeah, exactly. And she kicks my butt over here. Dopey, do it this way. Or why don't you call him this guy?
Yeah.
And she's on my case, and I love her for that,
Yeah.
right? I love her for that.
And you're in the trades because of the big goods and
Yeah.
the creativity in this. And always, no matter what it is in my life, And you're probably the same way. If something's
in our
not working
corner.
out right, that gets me excited.
Yeah.
Because I got to find a new way to do it. Cool.
But it isn't
It's
that so
gotta be
much.
a way.
I asked her, when you graduate from Johnson and Wales, what do you want to do? I want to work here.
Oh.
Why? Why? You're
Because
right.
you have such a good oven? I
Yeah.
don't think so.
She has fun. She has fun. Say
Would you like to start clarinet lessons? And I have a muffin.
Yeah, really.
Bring it up. Bring them together.
All right, so we always ask the same 3 questions, so let me lay them on you. What was your most memorable experience in a community music ensemble?
Community music ensemble. Playing for President Bush and President Clinton.
Oh, really? Uh-huh. That's good that you put both of them in there,
Yeah.
like you're covered,
That was years
Well,
ago.
what was it? What did you play? What did you do?
It was a fundraiser for President Clinton at St. Anselm's College in New Hampshire.
Uh-huh.
And then President Bush Sr. had come to, not Garden Park, Quinessa Country Club.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And we had played. And it was so memorable that we had to go in there. The gig was from 12:30 to 2. So they asked us to go in there for 8:30 to do a sound check
Yeah.
on live TV. All right. So after about 10 minutes of that baloney, what are we gonna do? So we hang around, and the Secret Service guards was so difficult. There was one woman that was tough as nails. She had the German Shepherd follow us in the bathroom. Okay.
Right.
It
Okay.
was. So what did one of my musicians
You would have
do?
done the same thing to you.
No,
With your sight.
it gets to show you how crazy musicians
Yeah.
are. And God rest his soul, one of my trumpet players, okay,
Yeah.
decides to go into the weeds of the Quinessa Country Club and take a dump.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Within seconds, the German Shepherds were out there.
Yeah, right.
So,
yeah.
you know how musicians are, they get bored, they do dumb things.
No, really?
No, I've never seen that, Doc.
See, but he's talking about professional musicians.
Oh.
Our community members
Right,
would
right.
never do
Professional.
anything
Yeah,
like
really.
that.
Yeah, it's but that's one of my memorable
Inspirational.
ones.
How to participate. Now, just try to isolate community bands, because you played in community bands along
Oh my
the way,
God,
right?
growing up.
Portuguese bands and non-professional ones.
Yeah.
How did that affect you, playing in a community band?
Playing community band affected me tremendously because all those old Italian marches,
Yeah.
the Portuguese marches, you didn't know if the note was on the line or the space, or
Right.
if it was bird droppings. The stems were on the opposite side
And
of
then
the
the
note.
roadmap, forget about it. GPS,
Yeah.
in no way.
Forget repeats. And now all of a sudden, because you're the American guy and you have the old time Portuguese guy or Italian guy conducted it, they're throwing batons at you like you're an idiot.
Yeah, right.
You know,
Right,
but
yeah.
how do you read chicken scratch?
You mean like your piano book?
You learn to play by ear. You learn how to play by ear.
Oh, you
That's
learn
right,
quickly.
Really quickly.
And that's an
Can I-
art that none of the kids have nowadays.
Yeah.
Reading that
One
manuscript.
of the things we discovered, the solfege system was very much used in Portuguese and Italian bands over here in this country because there weren't a lot of formal music classes in schools. So they wanted their musicians to come through and they taught them how to sing their parts. Do mi, re, fa, mi, so, fa, la. So, they had to get all that
1000%
down
right.
before they did anything.
It's 1,000% right.
Yeah.
So my dad was in World War II, Navy band at Catholic University. He didn't see no action, he was there, whatever. And you can see some posters of him on the battleship. So growing up as a kid, I was 6 years old and you shoved the clarinet in my mouth. I hate it. But solfeggio made me sing out my parts.
There you go.
Made me clap
Same
out my
thing.
parts
Yep.
before I put the mouthpiece in my mouth.
Right,
okay?
that's old school. That's
Really
real
old school,
Uh-huh.
really
Yeah.
old school. Forget it. Kids nowadays don't even know that. You talk cycle of fifths, you think they're talking Klingon, you know? They don't have a clue. They really don't.
Yeah.
And if you look at the method books that the kids are using in school, it's stuff that I grew up in 4th grade. You know what I'm saying? And I mean that.
Yep.
No one uses Rubank books anymore.
Okay, good. So, future.
Yeah,
You're
future.
using-
Well, so what
our
do you-
last
what do
question
you-
for
your
everyone.
last question.
You can ask Anna this.
You know, yeah. What do you see the future of community bands and community involvement in music? And do you see positive, negatives? Where
So
are we
you want
going
to know
with
the
this thing?
truth or you want me to lie?
No, I want you to tell me what you feel is
The truth, yeah.
Truth?
and then we'll ask the next generation.
Yeah. The truth? Non-existing. Kids don't want to put the time in to learn these manuscript pieces of music. The kids don't care nowadays. They want instant gratification, and that's it.
So they go
Well,
into baking?
Back in,
Is that
Are you gonna back him up
fortunately,
or
we're in a
what?
minority,
Actually-
yeah.
Am I wrong in
I
saying
agree
that?
to a degree,
No, not at all, that's not.
but I have to say I do
Most-
see hope,
They wanna do it now.
especially in the younger generation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because yes, music is complex and it takes time and it's difficult with younger children and their
Yeah.
attention span. But when you turn things into a game and you make everything fun, they start to gain interest in the more complex things.
Right.
So although I do agree, I do see hope that when approached in the right way, that they will gain interest into the old school way of things again.
Right on, yeah,
And
exactly.
this is the reason why I have a young lady like this over
That's
here.
right. Keep you from going over the cliff.
Oh, yeah, that's why I stay, I don't ever teach, I just repair. But the point being is that she gets the attention of the young children. Once she gets them to her level of musicianship, now they go to Bill Moretti, to his level of musicianship, which is definitely college and beyond, okay? And all of Bill's students are incredible, incredible.
We're talking professional accordion players, right? Is that?
Not just accordion, he's
That's
more than
good.
accordion.
All right, so we wrap it up with one last thing, and
There it is.
we all done. Just keep on playing.